Come on. Stay. Come on. Oh. Ginger Snaps. I'm excited for this one. I bought this DVD set a million years ago at the flea market, and I haven't seen the movie ever since I was like 17 years old or something. I'm 35 right now. Oof. 17, 18 years old. That was probably the last time I saw it. Used to be my favorite. One, not my favorite, but one of my favorite movies ever. One of my favorite werewolf movies ever. I was looking for it to make the video, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was like, I have another box set that only features Ginger Snaps 2. And I remember looking around and only seeing that one, and I was like, no, I want to see the first one. I want to start with the first one. Maybe if everything comes out right, I'll watch the second one. And I went crazy looking for it. I have them. I don't have space to have them all stored in a single shelf. So I have them in a box here and another box there and stuff like that. And I couldn't find it anywhere. And it was really irritating until I remembered, dude, I don't have the original DVD box set. I don't have the regular one. I have the Mexican one. It says Feroz, so I forgot, and I had it right here in my main shelf all along. It was right in front of me, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't remember until I was like, dude, it's it's Feroz, not Ginger Snaps. Okay, whatever. Ferocious. There's no way to translate Ginger Snaps in Spanish, to be fair. Spanish translations are always ridiculous, but there's no way that I gotta give him credit for this. There's no way to translate Ginger Snaps in a way that would make sense. Ten miedo, mucho miedo. La maldición está de regreso. Feroz, Ginger Snaps. Feroz 2, Ginger Snaps. Unleashed. I'm so curious. Are these movies going to hold up as much as I remember them? Because, yeah, these movies used to rock my world when I was a teenager, that is. It's totally different now. I'm scared. I'm this scared. I'm like, oh no, when I'm watching this, I'm gonna be like this. Oh, please don't suck. Because I feel that they might suck. It's one of these ugly double DVDs. Let's see the Special A Edition Feroz. Lo extraño y lo sobrenatural cubren la vida de esta aterradora y moderna aventura en la que un adolescente deberá elegir entre unirse al tentador mundo subterráneo de los poderes de la noche o, por el contrario, compartirlo. Aburridas de la rutina diaria en la escuela, Ginger y Brigitte, dos inquietas hermanas sedientas de diversión y nuevas experiencias, deciden buscar algo de emoción. En medio de su búsqueda, Ginger es atacada por una rabiosa bestia. Repentinamente comienza a transformarse en una mujer lobo, hambrienta de sangre. ¿Podrá Brigitte salvar a su hermana del demonio que la posee y al mismo tiempo salvarse a sí misma de no caer bajo la misma maldición? De no caer bajo la misma maldición. Okay, there you go. Feroz 2. Créditos iniciales. No puedes detenerlo. 3. La nueva interna. Terapia de grupo. Adicciones. Fantasmas y lobos. Me estás olfateando. 8. ¿Qué le pasa a mi cuerpo? 9. Vista nocturna. 10. Me ha encontrado. 11. Una manera de salir. 12. Que las alternativas. Why am I reading this? Feroz. Lo extraño y lo sobrenatural cobran vida en esta aterradora y moderna aventura en la que un adolescente deberá elegir entre unirse al tentador mundo subterráneo de los poderes de la noche, o por lo contrario, combatirlo. Aburridas de la rutina diaria en la escuela, Ginger y Brigitte, dos inquietas hermanas sedientas de diversión y de nuevas experiencias, deciden buscar algo de emoción. En medio de su búsqueda, Ginger es atacada por una rabiosa bestia y repentina. Why am I reading this again? It's just fucking. Let's see. I hope this video comes out right because it's late. I am absolutely exhausted, but I can't waste too much time not recording this because I want to finish these things. By the time I'm recording this, it was one of those days that just has decided to be like absolutely horrible. I am actually in the worst mood possible. I'm in a terrible mood right now, but I hope it doesn't come out too much in the video. It's been a long time since I've been in this terrible mood, but I hope I can transform that into something good and not make it seem through the video too much. And this is one of those reasons why I do these things, because doing these things help me feel distracted from the world for a while and make me kind of cheer up a little bit. So I hope I can do something worthwhile right now. You know what? I just realized something really stupid. I don't know why I'm recording all this. I'm saying all these things. I should just leave all these things out of the video, but I don't want to. I just realized something really stupid. I had the way I do the videos is that I record the footage, and then usually days, sometimes even weeks later, I just store them there, and then time later I rewatch it again so I can record the audio, my voiceover. And I realized I grabbed the wrong file because I already recorded the footage for all the videos that I wanted to do for the month, and I wanted to start out with the Freddy comic, then go to the Goosebumps videos, and then Tales from the Crypt in that order, and then finally the Ginger Snaps movie. And I realized I grabbed the Ginger Snaps file. It's late, it's really late, and I don't want to wait the minutes that I have to wait to transfer the file, the big ass file. So I have this one, call it Destiny, call it whatever. Why am I saying all these things? I don't know. So, well, let's watch Ginger Snaps. I guess I should have the courtesy to apologize for the length of the intro, but I am leaving it. It's staying. The intro, this DVD, it's a Mexican DVD, so that explains the lower quality. I don't want to be that guy, but it's true. I'm Mexican, by the way, so in case the few people that might be watching this might get triggered or something, I'm Mexa, so yeah. Anyways, that's why I have Mexa DVDs. Anyways, yeah. So Mexa DVDs used to tend to have kind of a lower production quality. They tend to be more simple. The boxes tend to be more flimsier. They tend to not have too many like sheets or anything inside. But the video quality is the same. So I mean it's just regular DVD. Anyways, yeah. So the menu is like more chafa because of that, you know. Anyway, so this intro was one of the only things I remembered from watching this when I was younger. That intro I used to love it for whatever reason, probably for the ambience of the setting there, the lighting, I don't know, I used to find it very moody for whatever reason. And then that image of the dog there, it was kind of it was kind of shocking. The whole beginning scene would just get me on a mood, and I'm kind of surprised that it still kind of does, especially this day when I'm feeling so goddamn moody. It's weird for me to feel moody. I spent probably the majority of my life all depressed and shit. And but it's been different lately when nowadays when as an adult, and it's weird now. It's very unusual for me to feel this moody and just in the shittiest mood ever. It's weird, but enough of that. If I start bitching about my mood again, I want somebody to remind me to give myself a slap in the back of the head. So the movie, so far, it's still able to communicate this sort of ambience of moodiness and this kind of teenage angst and awkwardness that a lot of us went through. That is one of the reasons why I used to like this movie so much, because I used to identify so much. And I just didn't watch it for the longest time. I think the last time I saw it, you know, before now was probably around when I was maybe 17 or something like that. 17 to 18, somewhere around there. Because I remember having a conversation with somebody who was head over heels for this movie too. And she was like 19 or something when we were talking about this movie. And she was around my same age, about 19 years old. That was almost 20 years ago. That was in 2006. Oh shit. So I must have watched this movie last time probably around 2004 to 2005 maybe. And I'm watching it now. And I was assuming that the movie was not going, I wasn't going to be feeling it too much because I have changed so much and your taste changed so much and your expectations changed so much. And things that impress you when you're 19 are not the same thing that impress you when you're 34, and they're not the same thing that impress you when you're 12. And I remember I fell in love with this movie when I was probably around 15 or something. It was the perfect movie to watch in that period of that period of time and that age. It was the perfect movie. And that girl who used to be all over this movie too was my sort of same mindset. And yeah, it was just like the perfect movie for people like us. And even though I have changed so much over the years, so far, by the sheer ambience, the lighting, the camera angles, and the whole, staged of like the whole stage presentation of it all, I'm positively surprised. I'm glad that it kind of still holds up. I was expecting something else from my memories. I was expecting something a little bit more cringe and not too hold uppy, you know what I mean? Basically, I was expecting to be a little bit disappointed, and this is not being the case. So the movie is about two awkward sisters, teenage angsty sisters, Ginger, the ginger girl, and Brigitte, the Brigitte girl, and they are angsty, awkward, socially outcast, angsty teens, and they're inseparable. They only get along with each other. They only have each other, and they live in this basically world of normies, and they're the only weird ones, and they're all depressed and late 90s, and they're all like depressed and tired because they don't fit in and they feel awkward and that nobody gets them and all that angsty, moody teenager type of shit. Nowadays it's really weird to see that. I was just like that. I looked like that and I acted like that. God damn.
Suicide's like the ultimate fuck you.
Hey, by the way, no. Suicide, it's not the ultimate fuck you to the world. At all. It's the ultimate fuck me in any case. Fuck that shit. Fuck that mindset, man, dude. Teenagers, oh my god. I was like that, trust me. Fuck that shit. I mean, dude. It's not. It's the ultimate I give up. I'm angry. I'm so angry and repressed and angry that I want to fuck up everything, but I can't. I don't dare to. I don't have the courage to, or I don't have the heart to do it. You name it. Maybe you're too self-conscious to take it on everybody else, just like I was, or you just don't have it in you, or you can't for whatever reason. Thank God. And so I mean, taking harming other people for your bullshit, that's bullshit. But it's I give up, I quit. All that harm, all that aggression that I have inside of me, I take it upon on myself in the biggest way that I can, and that's what happens. It's not a fuck you to the world. It's fuck to yourself, and the world doesn't really give a shit. Like for real. But we're all gonna die anyways, man. Fuck that shit. Why rush it? Just enjoy the ride. Um, yeah, I'm kidding. You don't enjoy the ride when you're depressed, but just don't rush it. You never know. Don't rush it. Why rush it? It's gonna happen anyways. Moving on. I'm rambling too much about this crap. God damn, today I'm just saying shit. Anyways, they make a sisterly pact, an angsty sisterly pact of going out together. Because that's the kind of shit that you do when you have that angsty teenager mindset. God damn, trust me, it's true actually. Ugh. I can totally picture myself doing something like that when I was younger. And it's so cringe to admit it that I have to admit it because it's so cringe. And you kind of have to give yourself a little slap in the hand. You know what I mean? Shit. Anyways, so they do gory pictures for like as a hobby. That's how they express themselves. They do all these crazy scenarios, and they do all this actually really creative shit. I mean, they're talented. You see what I'm talking about there? You shouldn't be so fuck. You shouldn't be wasting your life being all like defeated. Shit, look at all that talent you have there. You can fucking you can work in. You should be working on movies or something. You're almost as good as a production agency. You could almost pass out as the people who worked on the special effects for this very same movie. Maybe. Wink, wink. Uh, yeah. That's very talented. That's creative. Look at that one. They actually have a lot of talent. I don't know where they get all these props. They're fucking broke ass teenagers. I mean, but they get all these props and they probably do a lot of those by hand and whatever. It's all really good. You know, they're talented. It's grim and like disturbing, dark, but it's really good. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, for a bunch of dumbass teenagers, dude, that's really good. And they do the presentation for the in school, and all the other kids are like, yeah, and they're proud. But the teachers look like typical, stereotypical normie teacher type of shit. And that's not what you do, man. I mean, they have to present it. They have to present this character like that to have a movie. But and actually, a lot of people react like that when they approach these kind of scenarios. But that's not how you do, man. That's dumb. You don't do that. First of all, when you act that scandalized with edgy teenagers like that, you're just gonna first of all, you're just gonna encourage them. You're just gonna encourage that negative behavior. You don't do that. That's stupid. You're just gonna encourage them because you're just gonna tease them. It's like a dare. It's like you thought that was bad. You haven't seen anything, man. You're a lame ass adult. That's what they're gonna say. Or lame ass teenager or whatever, lame ass other person. It's a daring. It's a teasing. You're just gonna encourage them to double down. And they obviously need help. They're obviously troubled. You don't do that. You don't do something like that unless you're really troubled, especially if you're a teenager. You don't do that. That's not healthy. So there's clearly something up with these girls. You don't approach them like that. You look like a lame ass boomer in front of your class. You lose respect from the rest of the kids in the class. and you tease the troubled teenagers to do even worse next time. You approach them, you know. Look at it the other way. They have talent. You approach them. Hey, you know you're very talented. How did you do that? Like you obviously have some kind of interest in these things. Uh, they're clearly looking for attention. Give them that attention, but in a positive way, so you can reinforce better behavior next time. They're gonna probably feel better. They're fucking dumbass teenagers, man. It's not who's. I mean, come on. You know, you're very talented. This is very interesting. I would like to talk about about this a little bit more with you if you're willing to. Uh, how did you do that? Where did you learn? Flattering shit like that, man. When they open up a little bit, you can start discussing about the gruesome shit. You know, this is really dark. Have you been going on through some shit? I don't know. I'm not a specialist, but this is obvious shit. This is just common sense shit. When you have already reached them, gain a little bit of trust, you can maybe start asking if there's something wrong, if they need anything, you know, something going on in the house, whatever. You're a fucking teacher, and they're two dumbass teenagers. I mean, it's not that difficult, really. Trust me, it's not. Anyways, moving on. I'm rambling too much. God damn. This day, man. This day. I'm telling you. And then Mr. Chad here's like, hey, can we see once Ginger again? Yeah, it's yeah. Cause get it? He's Chad. He's the lamest Chad I've seen, but it's still probably the only thing that could resemble a Chad in this classroom. So there you go, Chad. So they're in the field, and Chad and henchmen are all being all or doofus with the girls, and the girls are playing cricket, cricket, whatever. They're playing some, they're playing sports. I don't know what the fuck that is actually. Now I grew up in Mexico. We don't play cricket, hockey kit, whatever that is. We don't play that shit. We play soccer here, basketball, baseball, not whatever the fuck that is. So yeah, they're just being moody, and the Stacy and all the other girls are being Stacy's, and yeah, they're like the the cool girls, the Brigitte and Ginger are just like competing there on who's talking more smack about the Stacy's, and they're talking a lot of shit. And one of the Stacys overhears them, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna show them." And for whatever reason, they make them play the hockey kit sport, whatever that is. It's funny. I never thought about it. I saw this movie so many times when I was younger, and I never thought about the sport. What the fuck is that? Rugby kit? I don't give a shit, to be honest. I don't give a fuck. But so yeah, so they make him play that sport to bully them, and their shenanigans, and Brigitte falls on top of a gutted out mangled dog that was just laying there on the field. How do you not see that? How do you not see fields are open outside in the middle of the day in front of a bunch of Stacy's and Chads looking at the distance in the benches? How nobody saw a mangled up gigantic ass dog mangled and gutted out? Nobody saw that. How you know what it sounds? What kind of school is that? What, dude, school sucks, man. The teachers are idiots, and the intendance guy doesn't nobody notices a mangled dog in the middle of the field, and they're playing there. They've been playing there for like an hour, and I don't know how long they've been playing there, but they have been playing there, and nobody saw that. Wow. Okay. Terrible day. They're having a terrible day. Brigitte is trying to clean up, and the groundskeeper Willie is giving her a tissue to clean up, and Brigitte says that he was a creep and he was looking at her weird, and he's telling her that she can kill him for her if she wants to, and she's all like intense like that, and Bridget's like, no, man. So Stacy's Stacying there, being all Stacy, and Chad is being all chatty and cocky. And for whatever reason, Stacy has a dog, a Rottweiler that she carries everywhere. I've never seen something like that. Why would Stacy? Why would a Stacy carry a Rottweiler everywhere? They're wishfully thinking that they could kidnap it and make it and kill it and make it look like the the beast mangled it. That's what they do. They think of trashy shit to say or do to the normies. Bad boy alert. Uh-oh, he's a drug dealer. Stacy likes him because he's the bad boy. He's a drug dealer. He's cool because he's a drug dealer. Get it? So he's the one that's always cooler than Chad because Chad is only Chad, but he's whatever. But so Chad approaches them and he's trying to flirt with Ginger because he's thirsty like that, and he has it for Ginger, and she just like stares at him, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And if I was a girl, I would probably react the same way. And yeah, that was a perfect reaction. So Brigitte demands Ginger to promise her that she won't go average on her because now she's you know getting involved with Chad because Chad is flirting with her. And we see what the fuck's wrong with her mom? They chose the most mommiest, normiest, the most painfully normiest haircut that they could. How many people did they needed to come up with that? The worst haircut they could have possibly picked. I mean, I know that they were going for that. They were trying to make her look the most painfully normie type of mom, like soccer mom ever. But dude, they actually nailed it. That haircut is monstrously insane. And that she's having the talk with the girls, the womanly talk, and it's awkward as you could expect. So they're going out. They're going out because they're still thinking about the whole kidnapping the dog thing, and Brigitte is probably trying to reconsider it, and Ginger, because she's the edgiest one, because she's the ginger one. She's the crazier one. She's a ginger. They stumble upon a corpse of another dog, another mangled dog. This movie that has something with mangled dogs. The special effects guy was probably very good at making dogs, so he was like, you know what? let's just make it. Let's just go fully all out on it. They're trying to take the corpse, and Ginger starts to bleed. They think it's the dog's blood, but it's not. It's Ginger's. She's having a period. That sucks. And she's pissed. She's a woman now. She's a normie now. So she's pissed as fuck. And they get attacked. Something attacks them and takes Ginger. And they start. Brigitte starts to go after her, and she's just like being dragged into the woods. And the whole neighborhood hears, but nobody goes out. And Ginger was attacked, and she's still being pursued, and she continues to be and she gets brutally attacked. And it turns out it's a monster. It's a werewolf. They manage to escape it, but they almost get run over by a truck. And but the truck ends up hitting the werewolf that was going after them, and it turns out that the bad boy was the one driving his truck, and he kills the werewolf. So they're safe now, if you can call it that. Ginger is in terrible shape. She was attacked by a werewolf. She's like brutalized, and nobody's home. Oh yeah, because mom and dad said they were going out. Yeah, it's true. And I think they were taking brother. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I don't remember hearing about that. They probably did because the brother's not there. Brother is not existent, by the way. I don't know why they even included him. Well, they probably included that character just to make the contrast. But still, anyways, Ginger's turns out she's healing. She was totally she was mangled, but she's actually healing. Anyways, Brigitte is looking through her camera, and she takes the final the last picture that the camera took by itself, when they right on the moment when they were attacked. Oh yeah, because the camera took a picture when they were attacked, by the way, and so that happened, and it turns out that she took a snap of the attacker, and she looks that she notices that it was some kind of monster, and my PlayStation 2 decides not to read my CD anymore. Yeah. Sorry about that. This is the first movie I ever do as an iWatch episode, so I wasn't really aware of how big the file was. I just kept making it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and I never realized the size. It was a single long video, but I was never able to transfer it. Long story short, the only solution I could do was divide it in two, and I took the opportunity to do that, taking advantage of this little error that happened here to use it as a division for a two-part video. So sorry for that. I'm gonna upload. If anybody's actually watching until this part, I'm gonna upload the second part immediately after this one. Bye. Continuing with second part, I'm gonna take this as a lesson to never do videos this long ever again. I'm gonna try to do the next ones I make shorter, as short as possible. Okay, moving on. So they're in class now, watching a presentation conveniently about viruses and infections. Brigitte is taking note. She's probably suspecting something. But wait, Ginger's still, with her womanly things, so they need to go to the store and buy the womanly things, which has to be super awkward. I mean, probably. It has been for me. I've had to buy things like that before for my sisters and for somebody else. And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit awkward because you're a guy and just like, so, but I'm assuming that has to be really awkward for a girl, especially for the first time that she needs to buy that shit. It's probably awkward. I can see that. Then Chad is in the store, being all thirst lord and shit. Ginger is smoking weed now. She got her period. She's a woman now. She's smoking weed now. With Chad, with the boys, because she's a grown up now. But Aerosmith looking motherfucker, look at the bad boy. He looks like Aerosmith's son. So Brigitte is asking him about what he saw. She's trying to dig into what happened last night. Aerosmith looking motherfucker is the one who ran over the wolf, so she's like trying to get in there. So it turns out they weren't allowed in his truck. They weren't allowed there, so he gets annoyed. He tells them to bug off, and Stacy comes through, and she's with her fucking Rottweiler again, and the Rottweiler goes crazy. It goes crazy with Ginger, and how are you hanging out with anybody? How does anybody wants to hang out with you with your vicious ass Rottweiler there? I mean, I get it. He's vicious now with Ginger because he notices that she's infected now. She has the werewolf in her. But how is anybody hanging out with with your dog there all the time, everywhere? How's other girls wanting to be around you when you're always with your dog? So Ginger's changing. So Brigitte is coming to the conclusion that she was bitten and now she's turning into a werewolf, and Ginger's all like, dude, are you kidding me? And she starts to period out immediately. Talk about a bad day. They go to the nurse, and I know that they're trying to portray the nurse as super annoying normie type of shit, but she's actually not. She's actually super helpful, and like, yeah, she's a lame-o, but come on, if I had a teenage daughter and she started to have her things, her womanly things, I would probably want somebody like that to, attend her. You probably want somebody that's really nice and helpful, even though if they're kind of maybe lame at worst. But they're trying to portray her as like the most annoying thing ever, the most like ratchet thing ever. Like, but she's just super helpful and nice. I mean, they're trying to portray her as like, ugh, grown-ups, am I right? But nah, I mean she is, but still, yo, mom, just throw out those underwear, dude. Throw out those underwear. Why do you want to clean that ratchet ass shit? Throw it out, dude. Oh god, that has to be really awkward. So, mom started to get all embarrassing about her period and whatnot, and now Ginger's pissed as shit because she thought Brigitte ratted on her, so she's pissed. They're fighting because Brigitte thinks she's a werewolf, and Ginger's like, fuck that shit, fuck you, shut up. So they're falling apart now because Ginger's all impossible now. I mean, even more impossible than a fucking teenager, than an average teenager. Now you have a werewolf teenager, so she's even more insufferable now. But Brigitte she's determined, and she's investigating to see how she can help her. What movie is she watching, anyways? What movie is she watching? I don't recognize that movie. Is it a made-up movie? Probably. And Ginger's like even super insufferable now. You could say she's turning into an animal. She's ferociously insufferable now. She's becoming a monster of a girl. She's a bitch now. She goes to school now looking amazing and all that shit. It looks like a pigeon pooed on her hair and it just like dripped all over her hair, but it's not. That's not it. Her hair is just changing, but yeah, she's looking super fine and whatever because she's grew up now. The whole movie's an analogy for growing up and becoming a woman and getting hormones and all that shit. But she's turning into a werewolf. She's changing. She gained her power now, so she's all sass and like she blossomed. Now she's all that. She discovered the power of the animal. In other words, growing up, being an adult. So she's like super empowered now, and she's like unstoppable. But in other things, uh, Bad Boy is trying to reach Brigitte because he wants to know. He wants to have answers for the picture because he saw the picture that Brigitte left in his truck the other day, and it's the same thing that he killed with his truck. So he wants to know shit and he wants to approach her. So later on, it's nighttime and Brigitte is still working on her project to try to help Ginger, but for whatever reason that is not really clear. I'm not sure if she was suspecting something and she noticed something, but for whatever reason she just gets out of her bed. It's nighttime. Ginger's sleeping, and she goes to Ginger's bed, and she uncovers her, and she's in her panties there. Yeah, she starts to pull down her sister's underwear for whatever reason, because she notices that she has a tail. Okay, and she's shocked, but it's funny. But she doesn't have anybody else to reach, so she goes to see Bad Boy and starts to explain everything to see if maybe together they can come out with something. But she's saying that she is the one who's changing. She's saying that she's the one because she doesn't want to expose Ginger. So they're working together now, Brigitte and Bad Boy. It even rhymes. They're officially a dynamic duo. So Bad Boy remembers he has a silver piercing and they start to come up with a plan to use it to maybe cure Ginger. I mean, Brigitte. Meanwhile, Ginger's getting busy with Chad here. I mean, come on, dude. Really? With him? The fuck? Dude, that's gross, dude. But whatever, she's forsaken her sister, Brigitte, and she's like all like becoming a douchebag now. It's Stacy, a douchey Stacy now. Super. Told you, beastly insufferable now. So Brigitte is concerned, and her solution is to yell out loud that she's ovulating, that Ginger's ovulating, so that Chad might beware. that's obviously a plan that could work, right? It's a great plan. That's totally a perfect way to get your sister on your side again. So Ginger's beasting out on Chad here. Gross. Gross. She comes back late as shit, and she's trashed as fuck, and she's scared. Yeah, right. You scared now, right, bitch? So she's scared because she doesn't know what's going on. She's obviously turned into a werewolf, but she doesn't want to admit it because admittedly it's pretty stupid. But yeah, she's like, she's like, help me, Brigitte. She's like, I thought it was just like, the hormone womanly thing, but it's not. She wasn't just horny. She was like, she's getting lust, but not just for fuckery. She's getting, she's going crazy because she's getting vicious and bloodthirsty. And it turns out she killed the dog. She mangled Norman, the dog, their dog. So she's finally like, yo, Brigitte, be a bro and like help me out here. And Brigitte, like the simp that she is, she like helps her. I mean, not really. It's her sister, so it's understandable. And they try the silver. So what's up with brother? His only character trait is that he plays like hockey or something. And now that Brigitte and Ginger are besties forever again, they're trying to hide Ginger's tail. That just looks funny. I mean, that's awkward as shit. Can you imagine that? Chad comes back and he looks trashed. Ginger messed him up. So bad boy comes through and he's looking for Bridget, and Ginger's all like, yeah, what the fuck, dude? You have a boyfriend and whatever? And she's like, nah. And you're like, yeah, alright, fuck that shit. For whatever reason, they joined the game. Bridget and Ginger joined the game, the hockey kit game. Were they part of the team or something? It didn't seem like it. They looked like they were just awkwardly standing there like losers, just looking at the game or something. Maybe it's part of the class. They're in class after all. So maybe that's what happened. Stacy here is trying to get back at, especially Bridget, because Bad Boy was looking for her, and Stacy has a crush on Bad Boy because he's a bad boy. She starts attacking Brigitte, and Ginger snaps. And it's actually pretty good. She beats the shit out of Stacy. Ginger's in trouble, obviously. And Chad is also in trouble. Different kind of trouble. Bodily trouble. So he's infected now. He's a werewolf now. Ginger fucked him up, and he's a werewolf now. What are they gonna do now? Well, they go see Bad Boy to see if they can come up with something. And Bad Boy is like, gee, this bitch. So he discovered something now. There's this plant and this flower, and he discovers that might be the thing. He was investigating and he tells the explanation, but I honestly wasn't paying too much attention. So, anyways, it's a plant that he discovers can cure lycanthropy, and he wants to try it, but the plant doesn't grow. It's a common plant, but it doesn't grow in that season. Meanwhile, Ginger is being a bitch. Ginger's getting all hairy now. She's changing. Even more. She has a talon. Dude, mom, fuck. Come on. Just knock. What if she was taking a dump or something? Dude, come on. Oh my god. Don't you Jesus me. Come on, privacy. Oh my god. I know you've seen her naked before because she changed her diaper and like you bathed her and all that shit, but that was like 40 years ago. How old is she now? Like 16? Get the fuck out and knock. Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, outside of the house, Brigitte is walking somewhere and she bumps into Stacy. She's pissed as hell because she's looking for a dog. She came here to claim it because she assumes the dog is right there. Stacy's trying to lose it, and as soon as that happens, Ginger snaps and she just pops out of nowhere and she starts attacking Stacy. Shit starts getting real and they accidentally kill Stacy. She's dead now. She fell and she hit her head and she's dead now and there's blood everywhere and Mom and Pa are coming back. What's gonna happen? What are they gonna do? They managed to think quickly and pretend that the whole murder scene is actually just one of their photographic endeavors, and they get away with it. Mom's like, okay, fine, and she wants to go and put the groceries, the meat, and the fridge that they have in the basement, but they have the body there, so Bridget goes after her, and she manages to have mom not discover the body. So the body froze really quickly. How long was mom like explaining the ways of guys and what do guys want? How long did she spend talking? How long has it been? Because the body's frozen over like entirely. What kind of fridge is that, dude? Is that like Sub-Zero's power? Like, what the fuck? The body shatters when they try to get it out. I mean, dude. Oh my god. Holy shit. Somehow they get the body out and they hide it in they bury it inside of the, what is that? The shed? They don't know what to do, so they make a plan of pretending and making Ginger pretend to be in school, and in school they pretend to have Ginger being homesick so they can skip school and escape. Huh. I used to do that in school for the longest time ever. I was actually expelled from school because I was skipping school so much and just escaping. Yeah. Huh. What do you know? Troubled teenage stories. We find Chad again. He's been mutating. He's been changing. He's up. Was more werewolfy now. He wants to know what the fuck happened. Like, what the fuck's wrong with Ginger? What did she do to him? I mean, no shit. And he tells Bridget that he killed his own dog too. What's up with this movie killing dogs? Maybe there's some context there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, they're werewolf. They're killing dogs. There has to be some kind of context there because this movie has it hard on killing dogs. Turns out Mom, in her Martha Stewartness, found the flowers that that Bridget needed. She found them somewhere. She bought them. So now they have the flower, the key to the cure. She probably wanted to do some Martha Stewart mom type of shit with that, and inadvertently she got the ingredient that they needed. So good for you, Mom. So Mom is trying to reach out to Brigitte, but Brigitte fools her by telling her that Ginger thinks it's cool that she lets them figure out things by themselves. Ginger's trying to cut off her tail. I mean, the tail is funny. I don't know, maybe that was actually intentional. I mean, this whole movie is a metaphor for growing up, and a tail is such an awkward, hilarious, fucking ridiculous thing. And that's pretty much growing up, isn't it? Awkward, funny, and ridiculous. The tale is kind of humiliating. Like growing up can be kind of humiliating and awkward and just kind of gross. And it's almost kind of brilliant in a way if they made it on purpose. Anyways, Brigitte has the plant, and she's like, "Yo, I have the plant. We'll figure this out." And Ginger's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." It's like, I'm scared and shit. She's being frank now. She's being honest. So you can be not a douchebag, right? There you go. And that tail, though. So Ginger goes to the bedroom, and Brigitte locks her in to try to keep her there so she doesn't get into trouble again while she goes to find out how to make the cure. So Bridget and Bad Boy start guessing, they try to figure it out, and they figure it out. They're gonna inject it. They start doing they boil it and whatever. They make the cure. They don't know if it's actually gonna work because they're just guessing, but they make it. I'm guessing there's nobody home because nobody hears Ginger tearing the bedroom apart and the door. By the way, I want to point out something that is very interesting. The fact that the transformation is very slow. Again, this is a metaphor for growing up, so the transformation is slow, it's by steps. She's developing. She doesn't just transform overnight or anything like that. It's slow, it's by phases. So you can play with that differently, and I dig that shit. It's cool. It's a good idea. Bad Boy always knew it was Ginger, the werewolf, not Brigitte, and he lets her go to go and get her. Meanwhile, Ginger escaped and she's going to the party, the Halloween party. Oh yeah, 'cause it's Halloween. The Halloween party. She's all sassy and free because you know she's a woman now. So she gets in trouble in school for being all show-offy and sassy, and she gets sent to the detention office. But Brigitte doesn't know where she is, so she's just looking for her. She hears screams, but it's actually Chad attacking a little boy. What he was going? He's just like shaking him around. What was he going to do? Kill him? Probably. He attacks Brigitte, but Brigitte had the needle with the cure, so she injects him, and it works. It actually turns out she discovers it actually works, but she wasted it now on Chad. It's all good though. The important thing is that she learned that the cure works, and now she just has to go and look for Ginger, and then make more, and it's all over. She goes to school to look for Ginger, and she finds her, but turns out that Ginger murdered the teacher, so it's big trouble now. Ginger has transformed even further, and by the way, there's also an evolution on Brigitte if you pay close attention now. She's less raggedy, you know, she's like, they're trying to portray her as more mature now, so you see that she's less raggedy, she's more groomed now, her hair is more fixed, she's maturing now. Instead of being like Ginger, all feral and wild, she's becoming more centered and intelligent. Mom and Dad find the fingers of Stacy, but Mom's like on denial. She doesn't want to believe that they're real. So she's trying to force herself to think that it's they're props. It's kind of sad. She knows they're not, but she's like trying to play ignorant. When Brigitte was trying to look for supplies to clean after everybody left, they bumped into groundskeeper Willie. So Ginger, she just can't like do anything right. She attacked him. Ginger says it's because she always knew he was a pervert and he was giving Brigitte funny looks, but it's never really clearly stated in the movie, so you never really know for sure. He's dead though. Ginger didn't have to kill him, but she did, and Brigitte is starting to realizing that she actually, she's getting worse and worse. She actually enjoys killing. She's trying to lure Brigitte into, becoming like her, but Brigitte doesn't want to anymore, and because they had a pact, but they had a pact that they were going to go at age 16 or whatever. But it's not the same anymore. Brigitte is like, nah, fuck that. And Ginger's not having it. She doesn't want to go back to just being normal, and she doesn't want to. Basically, she doesn't want to deal with anything anymore. She's just fed up with everything. Mom finds the body, and everything's coming together now. And now shit's getting real. Turns out that Mom is also scared now. She doesn't want to lose her kids. She knows what happened and she knows she's gonna lose her kids. So she's planning on actually escaping with them instead of turning them to the cops. Just give up everything and start all over again, which is kind of a plot twist. Ginger is completely gone now. She has almost fully transformed now. She goes to a party and everybody thinks it's a costume. She goes and she's tearing the party a new one. And she goes and find Bad Boy. She goes and sees him, and he's like, where's Bridget? And she's like, she just couldn't make it. And he's like, okay, what the fuck? And then, holy shit. Ew, she has extra titties. Because she's like, ugh. Brigitte and Mom went to look for Ginger, and Ginger's seducing Bad Boy, and why? I mean, why is he like letting her? I mean, dude, come on, she's monstrous. That's a face only a furry could love. Oh my god, why? How can you even? How can anybody even? How can you even get hard by? I mean, granted, I don't think he was actually. I think he was actually lame as hell. He refuses her. I mean, no shit. Fuck, dude. Oh my god. Obviously, she gets pissed as hell. She was in heat now. She was in super heat, and he was like, fuck that shit. So she attacks him, and Brigitte sees them, and now they're gonna, she's like, Brigitte plays a very surprising card though. She cuts herself, and she cuts Ginger, and they mix blood. So they make a pact now, blood pact. So that means she's infected now. But it turned out that it was all a plan to get Ginger to go with her. So it was pretty smart. Again, as I was saying, Brigitte is like showing evolution now in a different way. She's smarter now, and like she's calculating the shit. She has matured, not fairly like Ginger. They go back home to get more of that plant to make more cure. Her plan was to get infected because she knew that she was going to get cured anyways. Ginger's fully transforming now, and the effect looks okay. I mean, they knew how to shoot it because, yeah, the props were all chafa like that, but they knew how to shoot it. It's very brief, and they know how to use the lighting and everything to make it look good. So props to that. The thing is, she has fully transformed now by the time they reach home. So she gets in the house, and now they're all inside of the house with her fully gone monster. Nobody's home, by the way. All of these things have been happening, and nobody's home. You never see those characters again, though. The rest of the family. It's cat and mouse now. They're looking for the ingredients and escaping her, avoiding her, and she's looking for them, and she's like, and back and forth. They somehow managed to cook more cure locked in a closet. They're trying to complete the cure and not get caught by Ginger. They barely make it. So the plan is he's going to get out because Brigitte is too fucked up now. So he's going to go out. He's going to hide somewhere else, and she's going to lure Ginger, and they're both going to ambush her and inject her with a cure and be done with it. But as soon as he opens the door and steps outside, Ginger was already there, and she gets him, and she absolutely wrecks him. So it's all just Brigitte now. So plot twist. Bad Boy was the only non-toxic guy in the movie. Plot twist again. He's gone now. Brigitte's alone now. It's all up to her. Just the two of them, like in the beginning. The blood trail leads to the basement, and Bad Boy is actually still alive. Plot twist again. He's super fucked up, but he's still alive. The prop for monster for Wolf Ginger is pretty good. They don't show it too much, which is a good idea. They know how to show it with lighting or Brigitte playing smart again. I mean, she's drinking the blood because she's pretending to get on Ginger's good side so she can attack her, but obviously she can't. So she pukes and Ginger snaps and actually kills Bad Boy again. Plot twist. He's actually dead now. And it was pretty simple. He was dying, but he was infected too, so you could have cured Ginger and then cure yourself and wait for him to get infected long enough to heal himself again, and then you cure him. Or you could have even saved them to have proof of the murders and everything. Like, here, this is what happened. This was an actual infection, and look, he's turning into a werewolf because this it wasn't actually our fault. It was pretty easy. There was a pretty easy solution there, but obviously they weren't going to do that. So he's dead as fuck now. So he's dead now, and it's over for Brigitte. Ginger snapped, and now she doesn't care anymore. She's trying to kill her, but Brigitte getting away. She's planning now. She keeps escaping Ginger, but there's no exit anymore. She reaches a dead end. They reach their room, so that's it. And Brigitte is trying to reason with her, but it's no good. She's a wolf now. She's a bitch now. Ginger's gone. Ginger's snapped. She doesn't want to turn back anymore. And by the way, Brigitte's actress acts very well with her eyes. She does a lot of like eye acting. I'm pretty sure that's why they chose her for this role probably. And for the longest time, I never realized that she was Beb from It in the 90s. I never realized that until not so long ago. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And yeah, it is. It's the same actress. So yeah, Ginger, she doesn't want to go back to her former self. And Brigitte also doesn't want to go to her former self, but in a different way. Again, analogy for growing up. And Ginger goes for the kill. Analogy for toxic behavior trying to drag you back to the hole where you came from, I guess. But it's no good. Brigitte actually stabs Ginger, and that's it. Ginger falls limp, dying, as Brigitte just stares at her and starts looking around and seeing all their pictures and memories. And in a way, they actually fulfilled the pact. And back in the room where it all started, Brigitte embraces Ginger while she dies. Hey, yo, it was actually pretty good. I'm so glad that it holds up so well. I was expecting to be disappointed and to find this movie kind of not holding up at all, and that's not really the case at all. I'm so glad. It takes me back. This used to be one of my favorite movies when I was younger, when I was a kid, around that age of the characters in that movie, a little bit younger. And I used to appreciate it because I used to identify with that so much, but nowadays I appreciate it in a different way because it's such a time capsule of that time, of that era, of that period of my life. It takes me back to a different mood. It's such a good time capsule. The way it's shot, you see the technology that they're using. It captures an ambience of that period there, and takes me back. Gives me gives me a lot of memories, and makes me revive memories of that era, feelings I had in that era. Makes me remember like sharing this movie with that friend I used to hang out with back in that time. We were both the only two fans. She was the only fan I knew of this movie, and we used to talk about it a lot. It was one of those things that we had like together and shit. And besides that, it was just like this movie used to get me in a mood. And nowadays it gets me sort of in that mood, but in a sort of nostalgic way, and in a just puts me in perspective of how much things have changed and all that, which is good. It's good to change, and it's good to remember too, but it's good to change. And now it's like it's a pretty good little movie. I think I'm gonna appreciate this movie for the rest of my life because it's one of those things, I'm probably a little bit biased because it's those types of media that probably means a lot more to you than what it actually means. For probably not everybody's going to enjoy it as much as you do because you have that biases of this movie gained significance to you by experiences that you had with it and all that shit. Yeah, it's true. That's the reason why I'm going to appreciate it. Is because it's not only a movie that I discovered now was actually better than what I remembered. It's a movie that overall was just good, well made. It has a sort of quality that you don't see in movies anymore, or you barely do. It's an almost lost form of movie making nowadays, where it's sort of simplistic in a way, but it's also kind of more human in a sense. Like it's one of those storytellings where it's speaking to you as a person, as a cringe ass teenage person, but as a person. I feel like it's not pretending more than that, which is nice. It's appreciated. I don't get a feeling of this movie being cynical or anything like that. There's no that's not filled with all these check marks that everything has to have nowadays. So I appreciate that. That's one of the reasons why I also appreciate it as an old movie now. I'm older now, and it's good to grow up, but it's also I'm not a teenager. I'm not that teenager anymore. None of that is coming back or anything like that. But it's nice to sometimes be transported to a different time, a different period that you left, and it's never coming back. And as long as it's harmless, I feel that it's nice. I wish I could probably share this movie with somebody. I doubt. I don't know who. Again, things are not the same anymore. But anyways, I'm gonna appreciate this movie forever, and I'm gonna leave it at that. This was nicer than what I was ever anticipating. I'm glad. I'm really glad I decided to watch this movie again. Just in case anybody actually happened to reach this part of the video, I actually can't really tell, but in any case, well, thanks for watching. We'll do more stuff later. Bye.